How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is day one of free agency in the NFL, and honestly, this is one of my favorite days of the year in the NFL. It is, you get to kind of plug in a bunch of different players that you hypothetically think might be coming to your team, even though good for us, our team is still $25 million under the cap, but they should be able to work it out. But as you see by the title, we got to talk about the Vikings signing ZaDarius Smith because he was just cut today from the Green Bay Packers. And also in this video, we kind of get to talk a little smack about the Green Bay Packers because they are in cap space hell, even worse than we are. And then us potentially signing J.C. Jackson or A.J. Bouye, and then a backup quarterback. I think it's something the Vikings should really consider because honestly, if Kirk, knock on wood, if he would ever go down, I do not want Sean Mannion or even Kellen Mond to get a rep next season. We're going to be talking about it in this video right now. And I know that last comment might have rushed a bunch of Kellen Mond supporters to the comments, but I'll get to that later. But the ZaDarius Smith, he was just cut by the Green Bay Packers. And ZaDarius Smith, if you don't know, outside linebacker, edge rusher from the Green Bay Packers. And if you have ever watched the Vikings-Packers games, you know how good this guy is. There's not much analysis I need to give to you guys. He's 6'4", 275 pounds. And here is the link to the Vikings, because I could really get up here and name any free agent that is on the board and just say the Vikings should sign him. The Vikings outside linebacker coach, Mike Smith, just signed this offseason, was the outside linebackers coach for the Green Bay Packers. And Mike Smith and ZaDarius Smith had a insanely strong relationship. People even compare it to the Andre Patterson, Danielle Hunter relationship, which is why people even are thinking Danielle Hunter could leave, is because Andre Patterson left. So the Mike Smith and ZaDarius Smith, those two obviously have a connection at the hip, and I definitely think it's something ZaDarius Smith is considering. Because also, if you think about it, from just his perspective, they just signed Preston Smith today. They extended like the other Smith brother besides him. Why out? Like, what a better way to say screw you to the team that chose the same position as you over you than to go play for the Vikings and to go join a team in your division that is actually competitive in this next season. Bears, Lions, still a ton of question marks. The Vikings, Jefferson's going to be there. Kirk's going to be there now. ZaDarius, come on over. You can get back at the Packers. And hey, also, whatever you may think about Kirk Cousins, he has a better winning percentage in Lambeau Field than Aaron Rodgers. We got to talk about the secondary, and free agency is a great way to shore it up. The Vikings secondary has struggled the past couple of years, mainly because of lack of talent and realistically a lack of coaching, even though our former coach Mike Zimmer was supposed to be a guru when it came to DBs, but that was not the case. But J.C. Jackson, former New England Patriots corner, he had 8 interceptions this past year and 9 interceptions a year before. He is 6'1", 26 years old. He is a corner the Vikings need to seriously consider. This is one of those guys, no real connection to the Vikings. It's one of those guys I'm just kind of throwing out there. But if Vikings, if Queasy, if he is sitting up there, he's doing his homework right now. I know he's looking at J.C. Jackson, and he is a guy, if you pair him with Pat Pete and maybe draft a guy, you could even draft a guy in the first round and just say Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley, J.C. Jackson, Patrick Peterson, and Cameron Dantzler as the fourth. Corners, shored up, could be a top 10 unit in the NFL. You could just be really aggressive going that. The possibility, the Vikings, they're in a good spot because they do have talent kind of scattered around the roster. And if you just look at, like, let's just say the Vikings sign ZaDarius Smith. Oh my God, you have ZaDarius Smith and Danielle Hunter coming off the edge, and that's just one signing. If you go and bring in a J.C. Jackson and draft a corner, then you have Pat Pete, J.C. Jackson, and a young corner who is probably going to end up being a stud if you take him at 12. They are just a couple pieces away to shore up every group on defense. So I think you got to be aggressive. Aggressive wins in the NFL. Go get J.C. Jackson. Ooh, okay. All right. Kellen Mond, guys. We got to talk because and maybe I should wait on this for after the preseason, and I see him more because it was his first year last year, and it was in Lambeau, and that's really the only thing we kind of have to go off of. And obviously his college tape, which I wasn't the biggest fan of. But the Vikings backup quarterback position, after seeing the game in Lambeau last year with Sean Mannion, I think the Vikings need to go get another guy. Knock on wood, Kirk has been I don't think he's missed a game because of injury in like 5 years, it feels like. But if you go get a Ryan Fitzpatrick, you go get a Tyrod Taylor, let's just say Kirk misses time because of COVID or I don't know, he's sick, whatever. He gets whatever, something happens to Kirk, I would feel so confident if we had Fitzpatrick or Tyrod Taylor taking over for that game, rather instead of Kellen Mond. And yes, I would love to see Kellen Mond play. We don't know what he is yet, but I will tell you, he will not be as good next year as Tyrod Taylor or Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now it kind of gets to argument. Do you want your backup quarterback to be similar to your starting quarterback and how much value you put in it? I think it's a little overrated. You know, you see a lot of media guys saying, oh, you always need to have your backup quarterback just be a less talented version of your starter. I get it. It makes sense on paper. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think it could honestly offer a different dynamic. Like, let's say the Vikings, week 6, Kirk misses a game for some reason. You plug in Tyrod Taylor and that a scrambling ability and him still being able to run an offense. He is a veteran. I get it. And even Ryan Fitzpatrick's a little different from Kirk Cousins. A little more chuck it up, a little more be aggressive and take more chances in comparison to Kirk. I would definitely try to get a backup quarterback where if Kirk were to have to miss some time, sign a guy. If you have extra cap space, the Vikings probably won't have this luxury anyways, but if you somehow do, you do all the math, you got $5 million, I would go try to get a better backup quarterback and cut Sean Mannion because I am sick and tired. This was realistically just me spiting Sean Mannion. I just wanted to throw him in there and get my rant of Sean Mannion out for the day. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below, mainly about ZaDarius Smith and J.C. Jackson. Those two, just give me one of them, Vikes. Queasy, just give me one. Hop in your bag today. Make me feel good about this team going in the next season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Skol, Vikes.